What's going on, guys? My name is FakeThriller. I am joined today by snoov603, and we are here to add our voices to the much discussed, recently announced Battlefield 3 downloadable content. So what I think we're going to do is we're on battlefieldo.com right now. We're just going to sort of go over some of the things that we know. And the first or the next piece of downloadable content for Battlefield 3 is called Close Quarters, and Battlefieldo describes it as players are dropped into frantic infantry-only theater of war. Frostbite 2 high-definition destruction makes the environment come alive as everything from furniture to plaster gets shot to pieces. Players will feel the intensity of the world exploding around them as rubble and broken pieces pile up on the floor, while tight level design and vertical gameplay create a highly competitive environment. Battlefield 3 Close Quarters also introduces new weapons, assignments, and unique dog tags to bring back to the base game.
Whew! There's a lot going on right there.
It actually sounds pretty awesome. If you think about what they just wrote out for you, like it reminds me of like, imagine gameplay inside, like in a building, and actual destruction taking place. So people could be behind cover for a little while until you just keep like your LMG on full auto and start chipping away at the plaster,
which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and
campers, you have met your match.
Yeah, and we were saying before that this is probably going to play into your style quite a bit, because you're the run and gun twitchy shooter, and I mean, I'm sure I can hold my own, but...
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it, because from what I gathered from the general feel of the community all day today, while this was all being released and several other videos were dropped, there was a pretty good general consensus of some people not being happy with this smaller, condensed, close-quarter feeling, because they... In so many words, it was too Call of Duty-ish, in the sense of where it was just going to be a bunch of people kind of playing my style, where they just run around like an idiot and just run and gun and not playing the objectives. But you know, these people aren't looking at it. They're not looking at it from both sides. This is actually a huge benefit to the real tactical PTFO players, because those style players that they just complained about, that they don't want to see in this specific game type. First off, you gotta remember, you don't have to play it. That's the most important thing to remember. And second, this is going to draw those people in your objective games, like your Conquest and Rush. It's going to draw those non-objective players in there that are just trying to go try hard or stat whoring into this new style, this new playlist. So it's going to benefit everyone. It's not.
And one of the things that I'm thinking of too is, keep in mind, first of all, this is a Battlefield game. It's not like we're going to go and get a bunch of like shipment from Call of Duty 4 maps. Like they're going to be good-sized maps. I think they're just going to be designed more around infantry play, where, like, I'm thinking on back to, like, Strike at Karkin. Like, that is a heavy infantry map, except for when the pain-in-the-ass LAV and tanks start rolling around.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it'll be big enough. Plus, it's not like it's going to be just a team deathmatch map. It's going to be like... I mean, you're going to play Rush and stuff like that on it. So, it could be more like Metro, which... I mean, everyone loves Operation Metro, you know? Like,
exactly.
Just think of the maps, like, even Scene Crossing, you just take out the tank, and, like, that's what they could be referring to, just with better destruction and maybe more actually rendered interiors of buildings, so you have more paths that you can move through.
Right. That's actually probably the best example. I envision this being like Scene Crossing, minus the one tank per both sides, like when you're playing Conquest. And how do I want to exactly say this? I just had it. It was right there. It was beautiful.
Well, like,
I'm telling you, it was beautiful.
Like, you can go in the buildings, like you could navigate through the buildings instead of having to take the streets.
Right. Yeah. And actually, I'm sorry, I got my train of thought back. So it'd be kind of like, again, Conquest on Scene Crossing minus the tanks. The outlined area of the playable area condensed just a little bit, but they make up for that by being able to use all those buildings. Like, you know, there's 2 or 3 buildings where you can get up on the second, sometimes third story. Well, imagine all of those buildings, and then even opened up a little bit more in the interior, so you have a little more maneuverability, but everything's also destructible. Like,
Yeah.
What's not to like about that?
Well, I mean, what this is ringing in my head is going back to Bad Company 2, or maybe even some of the other Battlefields, where if you get in an enemy building and you strap C4 to the support beams, and you get out and you blow that C4, the whole building goes down. Like, that's awesome. That's one of the most awesome things from Bad Company 2 is the way the buildings would eventually collapse. And it would show a progression on the map throughout the game. Like, it's a city or a section of a city in the beginning of the game, but by the time you guys are done, after about 12 to 20 minutes, it's a fucking wasteland because everyone's like blowing everything up. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. So moving on to the second DLC. Oh, by the way, the first DLC, from what I saw it on the Battlefield a little earlier. I was trying to get some footage, and in like the battle feed, if you will, up in the top right corner, it said first DLC June 2012.
Which I have mixed opinions on. I don't know what you were going to say, but it bugs me that I would have really loved to have seen that saying April 2012. Like coming out next month or something. Like even if it's the end of April, they'd still have 2 months to make us wait. But like we're talking 6 months in between DLC packs now.
Right.
Kind of sucks. But in like on the bright side, it sort of shows that they're in this for the long haul.
Exactly. Although you're right though, because like the time frame between the first DLC and the second is 6 months, and then from the second to the third and eventually the fourth, going from second, third, and fourth are going to come out in a 6 month window. So we went from only having one DLC in 6 months to we're going to have 3 inside of a 6 month period. It's kind of wacky. I agree. I would like to have seen them released it the upcoming DLC at least, end of April, beginning of May. That would have been better.
Yeah. So moving on to the second announced bit of DLC, you want to read that?
Yep. The second DLC. Well, I guess technically the third would be Battlefield 3 Armored Kill. And again, going off of what we're reading on Battlefield, though, it's following the tight infantry gameplay of Battlefield 3 Close Quarters, DICE will release Battlefield 3 Armored Kill that ups the ante for vehicular mayhem as only Battlefield can do. Featuring new drivable tanks, ATVs, mobile artillery, and more, Battlefield 3 Armored Kill also delivers huge battlefields for an all-out vehicle assault, including the biggest map in Battlefield history. Ooh. If that doesn't get your dick rock hard, I do not know what does. Because my nerd on is raging.
It's ATVs. People have been asking for that, and they're like, yes, please, we'll give you an ATV, which is awesome because for those of you that played Bad Company 2 and use the ATVs, it gives you
so much fun. So much fun.
It gives you a buddy if he wants to ride side saddle on the back.
Nut to butt.
Yeah. It gives you guys like me and Snoov could nut to butt it up the left side and get in behind people. And that was a common thing that we did in Bad Company 2. And even with the Jeeps in Battlefield 3, it's kind of hard to do. So I'm excited about, plus new vehicles and everything. Like new tanks and... Oh, it's going to be awesome. Plus the biggest map in Battlefield history. So I'm imagining, like, we could actually have some... Imagine, like, 3-on-3 tanks rolling across a field. Like, you got to have some, like, in-depth squad play in multiple tanks, like, in order to win. I think that could be awesome.
Yep, that would be sweet. Again, like, going into Battlefield 3, I was hesitant because I wasn't sure how I was going to like the vehicle aspect of the game, but I quickly realized, dude, this is awesome because I don't have to use them. Like, there's plenty of opportunities to play just as infantry, but I love the vehicle aspect of it now because it just adds a whole different element, and it's like playing 2 different games at once. So for them to keep expanding on that, it's going to be fucking awesome because what's not to like about new weapons and new vehicles?
Yeah, and that's one thing we missed on Close Quarters was they're talking about new weapons, which we don't know if it's going to be 10 new weapons again, but I'd be, willing to bet. Why not? The system worked pretty well with 2 tiers of unlocks. I think we could see it again. They have plenty of time to do it. So.
Yep. I don't know. I do believe I did read that there will be 10 new weapons. I'm positive I read it. It's not on Battlefield though. I think it was on Maybe joystick. I'm not sure. I know I read this today.
Yeah.
I can't say for certain, but I'm 95% sure.
Well, that's cool. And then what would you prefer on Armored Kill when it talks about new tanks? Would you like it to be a new category of tank with new unlocks, or would you want it to just be new models?
Nah, new category of tank would be better, just because it gives it. Again, it adds that extra level of depth to the variety of the game, which, again, variety is the spice of life. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I don't know what they mean by mobile artillery, but I'm hoping it means, like, a Jeep can, like, tow a cannon somewhere. Like, I think that would
like
be
one of those
awesome.
anti-air cannons?
Yeah, like, maybe you can pull it, like, further up. And maybe it wouldn't be, like, the fart cannons that are, like death lasers to vehicles and stuff, but I don't know, maybe it could be like a big gun or something that fires slowly.
That would be pretty sweet.
But we're just shooting in the dark here. We're kind of wet dreaming. The third piece that was announced was Battlefield 3 Endgame, and all it says is the 4th expansion pack will ship in the winter, but details remain tightly guarded. And I guess the only real information we can get out of that is the fact that if they're shipping Battlefield 3 DLC in the winter, it's going to be after the recently announced Medal of Honor comes out, which I think we all were worried in the back of our mind that Battlefield 3 was going to fall by the wayside and be just like 2011's game. And then, like, Medal of Honor would take over for the end of 2012. But it looks like they're looking to support Battlefield 3 regardless of what else EA puts out in the first-person shooter category. So, looks like we all have a lot of, like, Battlefield 3 to be playing for at least a year.
Yep. And just to kind of add to the fuel on the fire, if you go to MP first, I remember also reading this earlier, and I forgot about it, but I just remembered again. They actually were able to get a hold of some coding from the game. It's only one line. It's from the private Battlelog server that's only accessible by DICE employees, so who knows how they actually got a hold of it. But their 2 weapons have been revealed, the CZ75 Auto and the CZ750 Sniper Rifle. I don't know anything about those, but we can look into that.
CZ75 is a pistol.
Okay.
It's a fully automatic pistol.
But even better, which I find bonerific in a nerd-on sense, is 2 vehicles were leaked, and one was the UH-60 Blackhawk helicopter, which, if you guys thought our Wrecking in the Havoc was good, just wait till see what we can do. And then the Bradley infantry vehicle, which, who gives a shit? The fucking Blackhawk helicopter!
Wait, you say Blackhawk, so, like, Blackhawk Down?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's like a rolling, or a flying death machine?
Yup.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what was the second one? I was cleaning up my gooey mess when I didn't even hear the second thing you said.
It's fine. It's fine. The rest of you guys put your pants back on. The other one was the Bradley infantry vehicle.
Huh.
So many things to think about. The only thing, just to wrap this up, the last thing I want to say is I wonder if we can get on DICE's case to potentially put out a secondary playlist of 6-man squads. So yeah, it'd only be 2 squads per team, but I gotta say, I like playing with a lot of you subscribers, and it's fucking impossible to get you guys in there with only 4-man squads. Yeah. So it would be nice if we had that option. I wonder if we can start like a little campaign, start raising hell. Yeah, polite hell.
That's gonna fundamentally change the game. How many times do I have to tell you this?
No, you're fucking full of shit.
All right, the last thing that was released recently in terms of Battlefield 3, so we can wrap this video up, is private servers for consoles have been confirmed. This is according to Joystick. Carl Magnus Trodsen, the CEO of Battlefield developer DICE, announced at Electronic Arts event last night that customizable servers would be available for consoles in the future. All active players out there playing on consoles today will now have the opportunity to customize their servers and set them up exactly how they want them to play, said Trodsen. Now, this is a feature that in Battlefield on PC we've had for some time, but it's an absolute first on console. So we're pretty excited about this. And then it goes on to, Joystick goes on to give their opinion. But yeah, I think everyone on console is thrilled about that. And as YouTube video makers, I can tell you right now, private servers
are fucking huge.
Are huge for us, just in different things that we'd want to do for enhancing different kinds of videos. Along with having open lobbies now, with like what Snoov was just saying, we can have a 24-person lobby full of Shoosty Bank subscribers, and we can do that America versus Russian thing on No Shar Canals, where me and Snoov are the generals. So.
Right, that's gonna be sweet, and then we can work it out. That's actually gonna make it very important or not very important, but a very good idea for you guys to follow us on Twitter and stuff, because that would be the easiest way for us to set up private server matches during the weekends. Like, I'm actually really looking forward to that, because it'd be fun to get like just an entire lobby of 22 people after us. Or
to be honest, and not to sound conceited or anything, but right now when you so it's me, Tony, Veggie, and Snoov get into our squad, and then 8 of you guys join on our team, and it like makes the game boring because we run such a train on people. Like, there's no exciting conquest matches, but I think it would be awesome to get a full lobby of subscribers and have some all-out wars, and see like have everyone put their try-hard pants on and really go at it. So if you guys aren't following us on Twitter, do that now. You're going to see our little Twitter outro yet again. But to be honest, it really is the best way to get into a game with us and play with us and all that shit. So I hope you enjoyed our take on the recently announced DLC for BF3. Yep. And leave your thoughts in the comments below.
For anyone that is new to us, new to Shoosty Bang, that has not checked us out before, keep coming back. We're going to do our best to be your go-to source for Battlefield 3 console gaming and information. We would like to be the go-to guys for you guys for that.
Self-proclaimed Battlefield 3 console heroes.
Not even self-proclaimed. It's a fucking fact.
You fucking look it up in the dictionary. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/FakeThriller and twitter.com/snoov603.